Hi everyone. So there's this thing called Epic the Musical, which you might have heard of.
I see a song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man.
But just in case you haven't, it's based on the Odyssey. It follows Odysseus as he comes back from the Trojan War, which Homer wrote about in the Iliad. And it's something that I've gotten really into over the years that it's been coming out. But I've never actually read the Odyssey. I've never actually read the original source text, mostly because I thought it would be really difficult because it's like a classic and I'm not like a literature student or anything. And yeah, that's the main reason. But I got this and I had it for like 4 months, but I haven't started reading it yet. And I thought we could read it together and discuss it and compare it to the musical. Thought that would be fun. I'm gonna start reading. And then I thought I would come back. It has like 24 books in it, but it's really like chapters. So I was gonna come back maybe after each one or when something interesting happens, and then I thought we could discuss it. Cool. Okay, so I've read the first chapter, and right off the bat, because in the musical, it starts with Odysseus at the end of the Trojan War. Like, remember, he kills the baby.
This is the son of none other than Troy's very own Prince Hector. Know that he will grow from a boy to an avenger, one fumed with rage as you're consumed by age. If you don't end him now, you'll have no one left to save.
Here it starts with Athena.
You are Athena, badass in the arena.
And Zeus and the gods, and basically the gods are like, oh, the people, they're always like, oh, the gods ruin everything, they ruin our lives.
This is the will of the gods.
The gods are saying like, oh no, it's the people that ruin their own lives. This is absurd. The mortals blame the gods. They say we cause their suffering, but they themselves increase it by folly. Whatever folly means. I don't know what that means. And then he talks about how people steal each other's wives and how it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And then Athena's like, oh yeah, Agamemnon. I've only ever read his name. I've never I've heard his name in the musical, but I haven't like said it before, so I'm sorry. And then Athena's like, oh no, but Odysseus, he's suffering. He has no friends. She says this. And then she's like, oh, he needs to come back home. And then Athena visits the palace of Odysseus. But Odysseus isn't there. Odysseus is with Calypso, because Calypso decided that she wants Odysseus to be her husband, which not really how that works. So he can't get home while everyone else has come. So we kind of start at the end-ish, which is an interesting place to start the narrative because you'd think it would have started at the beginning. So yeah, Athena visits Telemachus, who is Odysseus' son, and there's a bunch of like suitors there because they all want to marry Penelope, who is Odysseus' wife, because Odysseus is gone and he's not dead, so Telemachus isn't king from my understanding because he's not dead. And they can't turn them away for some reason. I don't know if it's just the customs, but for some reason they can't turn them away. And yeah, Athena comes in and he goes up to Telemachus. No, Telemachus goes up to her. And then they sit down and they talk together. And then Telemachus is like, oh no, my father, he's dead. And I'm not going to believe anyone who says my father's not dead. And then she's like, okay, she's not as Athena. She's pretending to be a guy called Mentes. She's like, I'm a guy. And your father is not dead. And Telemachus is like, he's not dead. And she's like, yeah, you need your father back. And he's like, yeah, I know, because all these people are ruining my life because he's not here. She's like, I know. And then Telemachus is all emo. He's like, dear guest, I will be frank with you. My mother says that I am his son, but I cannot be sure since no one knows his own begetting. Whatever begetting is. He's being all emo and he's like, oh, I wish I wasn't the son of someone who left me for a war. Which, fair, Telemachus, that's fair. And then he's like, oh, soon all of these suitors, they're going to kill me. And Athena's like, this is monstrous. And then Athena is like, yeah, wait, try to hear voices. Because they're the best source of information. Well, from Zeus, specifically. Like, it's fine, it's fine. It's like, try to hear voices from Zeus, because he's the best source of information. And then she's like, stop being a child and kill these people. That's what she says. Stop being a child and kill these people and try to hear voices. And then she's been pretending to be a guy this whole time. And then when Telemachus is like, no, don't leave, okay. With that, the owl-eyed goddess flew away like a bird up through the smoke. So there was no point other than maybe to not arouse suspicion from the suitors. I was like, yeah, I'm a man, and then she just turned into a bird. And then Telemachus is like, poets are not to blame for how things are. Zeus is, to his mother, so everyone's just dragging Zeus, which fair enough. Fair enough. And then everyone's like, who was that guy? Who was that weird guy? And he's like, no, I'm not telling you guys. And then Penelope is sad because her husband is gone. And that's pretty much book one. It was good. I'm so bad at reviewing things. I don't know what I'm doing. That's what happened so far. That's the worst summary of the Odyssey you will ever hear. But yeah, now the next book is Dangerous Journey. So I'm hoping we actually get to see Odysseus. I don't think so. Yeah, again, it is interesting that we start like, well, to be fair, these stories, they're like poems. They were passed down, via spoken word, I'm pretty sure. So I guess it makes sense that it would be like kind of cut up and jumbled up. I don't really know. But it is interesting that we're starting at the end because I guess in a way it starts with Athena, even though it's the Odyssey about Odysseus. But I guess in a way all of it ties back to Athena because Athena, from what I remember, she wanted to train him to be the greatest warrior, right? Because that was like her goal in life. So all of it the narrative kind of centers around Athena, and Odysseus is an extension of that rather than the other way around, I'd say. But yeah, it is interesting because I guess in a way it also makes it so we're seeing the consequences of his absence before we even meet him. So we're seeing like everything he has to lose already, which I know is a big theme in the musical itself at the very least.
I lost my best friend, I lost my mentor, my mom, 500 men gone. This can't go on, I must get to see Penelope and Telemachus.
Probably the Odyssey as a whole. Well, definitely the Odyssey as a whole. But yeah, it was also a lot easier to read than I thought it was going to be. Because again, I thought it was going to be like really difficult because it's a poem. But it actually was really quick. Maybe it's also because of this translation, because I got like a specific translation that was more accessible. So I would recommend this one specifically if you're trying to get into it and you are also intimidated. But yeah, I'll get back to you when I read some more. Bye! Okay, so hello again. It is tomorrow. I've read the second book chapter thing. I was gonna wear the same hoodie for continuity, but my beloved stole it, so I stole his. Sorry about that. I don't think anyone but me cares. So second chapter, I'm gonna try to summarize it to you, but I edited some of the chapter one, and I'm not very good at explaining, and I'm sorry, but I am trying. Okay, so it's book 2.
I'm not sure I follow.
Dangerous Journey. What happens? I already forgot. I just read it like this morning. So Telemachus wakes up. Good start. Oh yeah, and then he calls like a council meeting for the first time. It's like the first council meeting since Odysseus left, because last time, I don't think I actually said this. The reason Athena came was not just to be like, your father's not dead. She was also like, she was saying, he's not dead and you should go get him, and I'm gonna help you go get him, I think. Or I think she says it, she basically says, go get your dad, because he's suffering and he has no friends. So he calls a council meeting because he can't just go alone on a boat. And then some guy is like, oh, who called us? I'm so happy that someone called a council meeting. I hope that Zeus rewards his good intentions. Because I think he thinks there's like a war or something, or he has some information. And then Telemachus is like, no, I have no information. He basically just starts talking about the suitors and how they're stealing from him. And then, there is no man to save the house, no man like him. Odysseus, I cannot find against them. I would be useless. And then basically threatens them with the gods. He's like, the angry gods will turn on you in rage. They will be shocked at all this criminal behavior. And then he starts crying. And then everyone's hesitating to be mean to him. But then one guy was like, I don't care that this child is crying. And he goes, Telemachus, you stuck-up, willful little boy. Which, a bit rude, but okay. It's like, how dare you try to embarrass us? And then he basically blames it on Penelope, which of course he does. He's like, we suitors have not done you wrong. Go blame your precious mother. She is cunning. It is the 3rd year, soon it will be 4, that she has cheated us out of what we want. And what they want is her hand in marriage. But I'm like, guys, her husband just died. Like, she's grieving. Like, leave her alone. Are you guys okay? And then apparently Penelope has tricked them by being like, she had like this loom, and she was like, oh, I've been working on this loom to bury the good Laertes when he dies. I don't know who Laertes is, but to bury him when he dies, she wants to make this loom. No, winding sheet. The loom is what you make it with. And she's like, please let me finish it before I get married. But though I don't really see how you can't get married and continue working on it, but okay. And then the sneaky thing is, she worked on it for 3-4 years, and then at night she would go back and she would like ruin what she had done. She would unweave it. And then they're like, oh, she tricked us. But I'm just saying, like, if you haven't noticed for 4 years that she's doing this, like, is that like come on, like, I feel like that's on you at that point. Like, okay. And then someone caught her, and then they're like, oh, Athena blessed her with intelligence, great artistry and skill, a finer mind than anyone has ever had before, which I agree with that. Penelope in the whole book is very smart, and I feel like she is a very good mirror to Odysseus, and they're like really, really good with each other, I think. But again, it's been 3 years and no one was like checking on the loom that you were waiting for. Like, if this is the only thing stopping you, like, you'd think you would, okay, anyway. And then the suitors are basically like, we will keep eating up your wealth and livelihood as long as she pursues this plan the gods have put inside her heart. But yeah, if the gods put this plan inside her heart, then maybe we just let her be. Anyway, we will not go back to our farms or anywhere until she picks a husband. I have no words. I don't know how to comment on this, so I'm just gonna leave it. And then Telemachus is like, if you're upset by this, then get out of my house. May Zeus recompensate someday for this. You will die here and nobody will care. So go Telemachus. And then Zeus shows up, like for real. The gods are listening to Telemachus. And Zeus sent down 2 eagles from the mountain peak. They wheeled and whirred and flapped their mighty wings, swooping at each man's head with eyes like death, and with their talons ripped each face and neck. So did they kill them? This is very flowery. I don't know if they're dead or not, but go Zeus, I guess. And the people wondered in their, like, the townspeople wondered in their hearts what this could mean. It probably means Zeus isn't happy with you. I'm not very good at social cues, but I'm pretty sure that means he's not happy with you. And then this prophet is, is it the prophet? Old Halitherses, son of Mastor. And he's like a prophet? Or he was excelled at prophecy. I don't know if he's a prophet. It's like, Odysseus will not be absent from his friends for long. I am experienced at prophecy. I told him when he left for Troy with all the Argives he would suffer most terribly and all his men would die, but in the 20th year he would come home unrecognized. Now it is coming true. And then some man just goes, old man be off. and then he's just going, I wish that you had died with him to stop your forecast. You are making this boy angry. I'm assuming that's Telemachus, hoping that he will give you your household gifts. And then I will advise Telemachus myself in front of everyone to send his mother back to her father's family to fix her wedding and the gifts a well-loved daughter should have. Until he does that, we will never cease this torturous courtship. His house will be devoured and payback will never come as long as she frustrates our wish for marriage. Meanwhile, we will wait in daily hope, competing for the prize, not seeking other women as our wives. Well, to me, it just sounds like you're a bunch of simps, but okay. And then Telemachus is like, just let me have a ship with 20 men and get a journey to Sparta. Basically, just find out news when his father will come home. And then he's like, I may hear a voice from somebody or a voice from Zeus. It often happens, which I appreciate how normal it is in the society to just hear random voices. And he's like, if I find out my father is alive and coming home, I will endure this pain for 1 more year, but if I hear that he is dead, I will come home to my own land and build a tomb and hold the funeral rites he deserves, and I will give my mother to a new husband. So there's the stakes of the story. We either find Odysseus or it all goes to crap. He sat down and, oh yeah, and then Mentor comes in, which Mentor and Mentes, very close. So I wrote down, this smells like Athena. I feel like if they're not doing the whole, oh, this is so-and-so from the family of so-and-so, I feel like it's probably like a 50% chance it's gonna be Athena. Just like hiding. And then she's basically like, kings should always be cruel. Well, okay, because, well, it does turn out to be Athena. I was right, but I'm gonna use the pronouns he wants. I will say, the amount of times Athena, like, she has the opportunities to roleplay as a character, and she always decides to be a man. And I'm just saying that that's a pink, white, and blue flag if I've ever seen one. Though I guess also maybe she's doing that to be respected as a man. Because maybe if she was a woman, then they wouldn't respect her as much. But they respect Penelope enough. They just also simp for her. Though I guess they don't really, like, respect her as a person. And I guess you can't really present as the gender you are all the time if the society around you doesn't let you. Or respect your existence. But then again, she's also a god, so, like, why are you even pretending? Like, why can't you just be Athena and be like, I want this, I'm Athena, do it. Like, okay. There's like, kings should always be cruel. And then, Mentor, for shame, you have lost your mind. I suspect Telemachus will not manage to go anywhere. He will just wait in Ithaca for news that are just doubting him. And then Telemachus dips his hand, like he leaves, and then he prays to Athena at the beach. And then it's like, oh, these bullying, mean suitors, he says this. And then Athena comes to him as Mentor, so I was right. And then she spoke to him with words that flew like birds, so there's a lot of birds here. And then she's basically like, you will be brave and thoughtful if your own father's forcefulness runs through you. But you will be no coward and no fool. So basically saying, you will do this. You got this, king. You got this. And then she's like, forget about this foolish suitor's plans. They have no brains and no morality. And then she's like, I'll go with you. And then I think the suitors tried to slow him down and be like, oh, come eat with us, Telemachus, come on. And he's like, no, shut up, guys. I don't want to talk to you. You guys are ruining my life. And then he goes up to this servant, slave, nanny person. And he's like, can you pack me some wine because I'm leaving? And then he's like, oh no, don't go. And then he's like, you don't have to worry, the gods have blessed this plan, so it's okay. It's like, how old is Telemachus at this point? Is he like 13 or something? I don't know why I think he's 13. Let me check. How old is Telemachus in the Odyssey? Oh, he's 20. Okay, that's fine. He's older than me. I don't know why I thought I've been imagining him as this like 13-year-old boy. Okay, Okay, that's fine. And he's like, don't tell my mother. Like, he's still like, don't tell my... I think that's why I thought he was 13, because like, don't tell my mother. Don't... Like, if you're 20 years old, you can just... Well, he's like, say nothing for 12 days so she will not start crying. It would spoil her pretty skin, because that is the biggest issue at hand right now. And then, yeah, Athena's been going around the town getting people to come with Telemachus, like volunteers to get Odysseus back or news of Odysseus. And then they go in secret, so no one can stop them, I'm assuming. Oh, I sat on my leg now. I'm having a vision.
I am the prophet.
Hold on, I need to fix my mask. Okay, so what have we learned? We learned that Penelope, everyone simps for Penelope, and everyone, well, I think it's not just that they're like simping for her, I think they want to be like king of Ithaca. I think that's the main reason. We've learned that Penelope somehow managed to trick them for 3 to 4 years by being like, oh no, I just want to do my loom. I just want to do this womanly thing that I do before we get married. And then they all just fell for it. Though I guess it's also like they didn't have much incentive. Well, they did kind of have, because I was going to say that they didn't have much incentive because they had all the food for free at Odysseus's palace. But then it's also like, well, they do want to be king, so that's probably incentive, right? So that means Penelope, really smart, good for Odysseus. Again, I know a bit more about like what's happening later on from like research and mostly animatics. I'm not going to lie to you, it is mostly animatics. That is where most of my Greek knowledge comes from, and like other retellings and things. But I do like them together. And I do appreciate that Penelope is more than just, oh, just another prize to be won. That she actually does hold her own in the story as much as she can in the role that she's given. What else? We've learned that Telemachus is not a 13-year-old boy, which is what I thought. Which makes more sense, because before I was like, oh, Athena's like, don't be a child, kill these people. But like, yeah. Yeah. I think it's like everyone like draws him really young. So yeah, Telemachus has gotten over, so he could have stood up to them this whole time then. He could have done this whole time, he just needed the push from Athena. So I guess there is some character development with Telemachus. He's gonna like actually stand up to the people because, okay, because the suitors, they were like, oh, come eat with us, Telemachus, come eat with us after this whole fight we had. Like as if it's nothing, so it just feels like they've been doing this. Like, probably Telemachus had some sort of outburst like this before. And they're just expecting it to pass over. And it's like, yeah, Telemachus is not going to do anything. But this time he is doing something. And, yeah, that's good. Because he's also crying at the council. I'm not going to judge him for crying, okay? I'm just going to say he obviously isn't used to standing up to people. Which he's learning. He's learning. And then Athena's back. And she's another guy. Like, I still don't really see why Athena can't just be like, oh, it's me, Athena, do what I want. Like, you're a god, you should be able to do that. But okay, she keeps pretending to be men. She's helping Telemachus. And then Zeus is... I'm not sure if Zeus actually killed those people, or if it's a weird metaphor I don't understand. But I think so. I think they actually died. So I think they all died, and then the townspeople were like, whoa, what does this mean? Yeah, they're gonna look for Odysseus. There's a big lack of Odysseus so far in the Odyssey. It's book 2 and there's no Odysseus. Athena's like, it's funny to me because Telemachus is like, oh, help me. Athena, help me. And then Athena's like, you got this. You will do this. You got this. Yeah, so that's book 2. I think that's the extent of my analysis so far, because so far they're just preparing. I like where Telemachus's character is going. He seems to be like growing up. Book 3 is An Old King Remembers. So hopefully maybe we see Odysseus in this one. Let me see. Don't. Where is he? Like, it's book 3 and Odysseus is not here. It's just like, okay, no. I like Telemachus. But it is the Odyssey. It's not the Telemachusy. The Telemachusy. It's not that. It's the Odyssey. Like they should rename this to not the Odyssey. It's the Tale of Odysseus isn't here. I guess that's the point, isn't it? Okay, anyway, when can... Is it cheating if I go see when Odysseus shows up? Are you gonna be mad at me if I check when... I really like Odysseus.
Where is he? Where is the man?
Okay, well, I think he's in book 5. Sorry everyone for spoiling when Odysseus is arriving in the Odyssey.
I'm just a man.
Yeah, this video is gonna be really long because I'm not good at even like explaining it, but I talk a lot. So I might leave it here. I probably will do another one because I think it's helping me process it, talking out loud. Hopefully I'll see you for the next one. Bye!
What if I'm the
Monster, rah rah rah. I am the monster, rah rah rah. I am the monster, I am the monster, I am the monster, rah rah rah.